Hey everyone, this is Ria here. Thank you for stopping by and checking out this ad. And before you actually move on to the next page where you can actually get more information on how you can build your business online, I am here with the amazing dear sister of mine, dear friend, Daysha Hanks. She is here to share her story of where she was before she got into this course and training and where she is now and where she plans to be in the next coming future. I urge you to listen to every word she says because she is an abundance of value and knowledge, literally all packed up in a short time. I don't know how she does it, but it's a great talent, which I kind of am jealous about. But it is what it is. So I'll be interviewing her and just hearing your story because I feel like you guys deserve to at least know that someone actually went through that training and then you can have that confidence and comfortability that it's work with someone and there's a possibility it can actually work with you as well. All right, without further ado, Daysha Hanks, I'm giving you the floor. I would like the audience to at least get to know your background, who you are, and where were you before you got into Exodus Elite.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for the introduction. Like, wow, wasn't expecting such a great introduction. So thank you so much. So yeah, kind of my backstory before I got into Exodus Elite. It's kind of similar to a lot of the success stories that you kind of hear out there. Like when you really listen to success stories, you notice that they go through a lot of struggles, and that's kind of what happened with me. Right. When I was 19 years old, I was trying to start doing business online because I was living in my own place at that time. And I was just really struggling with money. I needed to come up with some kind of money for rent. So I went to the online space, right? Like, just type how to make money online, right? Well, I was expecting that I would get into a program, make a bunch of money, I would quit my job, and then I would just basically be full-time from home at that point. Didn't work out that way. Not at all. I ended up getting into one program, spent about $500 I didn't have, and I ended up losing it, right? I ended up getting scammed. And throughout that process, I ended up getting into another program. And the program itself would have been great, but I didn't have any type of training. So I just kept on failing and I kept wasting money. And over like a 4.5-year period, I spent over $10,000 on different scams and broken promises and everything. And at one point, I was just ready to give up. Like 4.5 years, still didn't make any money, spending over $10,000. I was like, you know what? This stuff just doesn't work. Right? I was ready just to throw it out the door. And I remember that day that I was ready just to give up, I had one of my friends reach out to me. And at the time I was doing live videos, right? I had gotten into personal development a little bit and loved doing lives, and it was just fun, but I wasn't getting any engagement. And I had my friend Sam reach out to me, and he's like, Daysha, like, what are you, like, I love your videos. You're giving great value, but you don't have any engagement. You're not making any money. I can see that. Like, what are you doing? Right? Like, what strategy are you using? So I was like, I'm not using a strategy, right? So he kind of pulled me back, showed me a little bit of things. And before I got into Exodus, like my engagement just started going crazy up because he showed me just a small little bit of piece of information that he had learned from the course as well. So
Wow, that was intense. But at least it's all about like who you're attracting in your life. That despite the adversity you could be facing, and despite all the amount of failures and difficulties, God and the universe, or whatever people want to call it, is always there for us, no matter what. Well, I would like to know, so when you were introduced to Exodus, what was happening in your mind? Like, share a little bit about that.
So to be honest, I was kind of skeptical, right? I mean, 4.5 years of spending over $10,000, I was like, I don't know if I want to invest in this anymore, right? Like, and not only that, like I'm the type of person that like goes all in, right? So I didn't want to start out at the bottom level. Like if I was going to do it, I was going to go at the very top level and get all the training that I could possibly get. So I was a little skeptical. I was like, this dude made $23,000 in a 30-day period and he's only 22 years old. There's no way that's a reality, right? No freaking way that's a reality. And I could never see myself at that time making $1,000 a day. That just seemed like way too much money in my own mind. That's how much I was making in a 2-week period at my job. So I guess what I would say was going through my mind at that point was just fear, like intense fear and skepticism. But at the same time, I had this rush of trust because Sam wasn't just this other person that was like, hey, like, check out this program, buy my product, you're going to make a bunch of money. Like he literally took the time to show me things one-on-one. And I think the mentorship was what really made me want to get in under him. So.
Oh yeah, I definitely hear that. Like mentorship is key in anything. You can't go through a new journey on your own because there's gonna be steps, there's gonna be some unanswered questions, uncertainties along the way. Speaking of uncertainties, once you got into Exodus, what kind of
Mhm.
challenges were you facing like during this online marketing journey before you actually reached your breakthrough?
I think the biggest challenge that I faced was having to unlearn what I was taught in the past. Once
Mm,
I got into this program, it was different, right? It was different than anything I had ever been taught. Like they really showed you like the structure and the strategies of how to actually make a business online. And I had never been
mm,
shown that. Like from where I came from, I was told you need to pitch your product out to everyone, reach out to a bunch of people and just spam your link all over your wall and you make a bunch of money. And what I found is that is not the case, right? So my biggest struggle was unlearning everything that I had learned before because it was just crap knowledge. Sorry for my
mm,
language, but it was just crap knowledge, to be honest. And really taking a step back and viewing things from a different view.
mm,
Basically, just being 100% open. Like, I realized once I completely opened myself up, I let go of my ego, let go of everything else, and I just put
mm,
my focus into learning and just implementing. That's
mm.
what changed everything for me. So, biggest challenge was definitely unlearning all of the crap knowledge.
Dang. You gotta unlearn stuff, people. Better hear what she's saying. You want to get that breakthrough. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Daysha. So another question I think the audience would like to know is what other stuff have you learned going through this Exodus course and further mentorship, business wise, and I think personal development wise? What have you learned overall as your growth throughout this journey?
Biggest thing that I learned both in business and mindset is how to simplify things. Like that was kind of the biggest game changer in my life. I feel like every single person out there, they try to overcomplicate the process, and that just
Mhm.
makes the process a lot longer for one, but it makes them feel a lot less confident about what they're doing. So the biggest thing I learned was to simplify the way that I was thinking about things, the way that I was doing things with my business, and not focusing on the result, right? Like, yes, I wanted to make money. We all want to make money, right? But when I was focused on the result of trying to make money, I was kind of in this state of like pitching to people, right? I didn't really care about them and their success and trying to get things going and building up on top of that. I was just focused on the money. So letting go of the end result and then simplifying things, putting that together, that just changed every single aspect of my life, not just business, but my relationships as well, right? Like I
Mm.
simplified my relationships. I simplified the way that I was talking with other partners business wise, and that changed everything for me. So,
Wow, fantastic, fantastic. That's really good. It's all about the impact first before making an income, and I feel like that's how like a lot of successful stories out there. People tend to forget that, like, oh, this person made $1 million, $1 billion, but like the reason is because they thought about the people before the result.
yes.
And if you focus on that, you will definitely get what you want. Um, Another question is, since you got into Exodus and you've already learned some stuff about unlearning and your mindset shift and all that good stuff, what have what has your family benefit from this new Daysha going through this Exodus elite journey?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So going through Exodus Elite and everything, the mindset shift was huge, right? I used to be a very depressed, very angry. I had a lot of anxiety. I was that kind of person, right? Like one day I would be like super happy and excited and everything was great, and then all of a sudden I would snap and I would be this super angry person that was throwing crap around and just out of control, to be honest. So to be honest, with Exodus, that just changed my whole frame of mind so that
Mhm.
now I can go into like the room with my family and they don't feel scared that I'm going to like freak out and have one of my episodes, right? Like it's completely changed my relationship with my family. And not only that, now that I'm more aware of my own things and I've kind of started to figure out what kind of mindset I want and heading down that path, I'm now noticing the differences in my family's mindset. So now I'm recognizing when they're doing that same thing. Are they having those episodes? Are they getting angry for no reason? Like, is their mindset a little bit lower? And when I talk to them about that, it helps them with raising that energy and that mindset up. So I've never felt happier, to be honest, in my life. I have never felt happier. I have never been closer to my family and friends and partners. And yeah, I'm just grateful for everything Exodus has provided me.
Oh, Sounds so beautiful. It's all about being grateful of everything. Um, Another thing I wanted to ask, actually, I had the question in my mind. Um, Let me just read through my questions. I almost forgot about it. Oh my goodness. Um, so after receiving your 1K day, $1,000 in one day through Exodus training and coaching and mentorship, especially with the group atmosphere as well and support, did you see yourself investing more in like other training and coaching? Like, tell me a little bit more about that.
You know, after my 1K day, right, my mindset changed a little bit. So they my mindset fell from having this like 1K day and trying to duplicate that process like I should have done, right? That would have been the smart thing to do, to just
Yeah.
duplicate the process. My ego exploded a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. My ego was like, "Oh my God, it's $1,000 in a day. I'm amazing,"
Yeah.
kind of thing, right? So to be honest, yeah, my mindset fell back into that shiny object syndrome. Like I had $1,000 in my bank account in one day. I wanted to just go spend it on all of these things. So I did go spend it on a bunch of different courses, and I got nothing from those other courses. Like literally all those courses combined of that $1,000, right, wasn't even a fraction of what I learned inside of Exodus. So I wanted to invest in all these different things, and I did, and it didn't benefit me in any type of way. I think the only thing that I invested that first 1K day in that was actually beneficial was a couple books that I bought. So one thing I would say is, as soon as you guys start earning your first $1,000 day, don't go start spending it on a bunch of different programs. Try to see how much money you can build up in one program first. Be like a perfection at it, right? And then try to go into another course, because otherwise you're just going to be starting to spend a bunch of money in a bunch of different places and waste it, kind of like I did.
That's a great money management tip you got from Daysha. All right. Another question is, so I think a lot of people would like to know, people always talk about morning and night routines or daily routines, quote unquote. Share a little bit about how your morning or your daily routine looks like, I guess, before you got into Exodus and now that you're in Exodus.
So before I got into Exodus, I didn't have a morning routine. To be honest, before I got into Exodus, I was doing a little bit of personal development, but not a lot, right? I was kind of in that positive frame of mind, but wasn't like full force, right? So before I got into Exodus, no routine. I would kind of just get up whenever I wanted. It was usually around like noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Not a good time to get up. And once I got into Exodus and started learning personal development a little bit more, now my morning routine is I try to get up. I do a little bit of yoga. I just try to get myself into a high state of mind at the beginning, right? Because I've learned now that when you get yourself into a high state at the beginning of your day, then the rest of your day usually kind of follows in that same pattern. So I usually get up, do a little bit of yoga, and then I meditate, and then I read a little bit out of the Bible or whatever book it is that I'm reading, and then I just hop into work. And that has really helped me with just staying consistent, because when you get yourself in a routine, doing work throughout the day no longer seems like a chore. It's just a natural thing for you, and you don't even really have to think about it anymore. It's kind of like driving a car, right? You drive the car on the same route for a long period of time. You don't even have to think about it. Your mind just does it. And that's kind of how it feels when you get in that routine. So.
Wow, that's beautiful, guys. Like I truly believe in routines after I think a month now getting into it. Like meditation, especially, is really good for mental health and increase your cognitive concentration. So you guys have to do that. And that's what you're going to be learning when you get into Exodus. You know, like what Daysha went through and what everyone else you're going to meet as well has gone through has basically taken the same step-by-step kind of routine. I think just two more questions left because, wow, in like literally almost 15 minutes, you're just sharing so much value. And I'm so glad I'm interviewing you. It's crazy. So now you got your 1K day. And I've heard you're creating your new Facebook group, the Virtual Vipers, which sounds amazing.
Yes.
Would you like to share a little bit more about that? What's inspired you to create a Facebook group like that? And where do you see your Facebook group in maybe in the next couple of months from now?
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for letting me share that group with everyone on here. So Virtual Vipers is basically my way of training people how to share their story in a unique way, right? A lot of people out there, they're like, well, how do I stand out from the crowd, right? Like, how do I stand out from everyone else? Like, I want to be unique, right? And a lot of the times what people do, because they're trying to be unique, they try to be like someone else, right? They see someone big like Tony Robbins or Ty Lopez, and they try to kind of be exactly like that other person, or they try to see like me and they try to be like me. And that's not the case. So Virtual Vipers is really all about helping people with stepping up into their own power and really telling the story of them, right? Trying to show how unique you truly are as a person and how you can utilize that to stand out from the crowd and really slither past your competition.
Nice,
So,
nice. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say. So you had also asked like where I see it here in the next few months. So
Yeah.
as far as like 3 months down the road, I want to be able to just build it up to about 200, 300 people, and then eventually I want to be able to get it to where we're on Zoom calls all together, and really just sharing our experience, how live videos really helps them with breaking past that barrier and stepping up into their confidence, and yeah, just kind of go from there.
Nice. Well, I hope you guys at the end, like when you see the next page, you definitely see a link below where you can join the amazing Virtual Vipers. I'm a member too. I'm excited to just unfold so much content she's going to be sharing in the group. And of course, you can also join like the mentorship group of Exodus and just other groups as well. Yeah, it's all about helping you guys to reach your potential and to reach your kind of breakthrough. So the last question of the day. So Daysha, what advice would you share to someone who's watching this right now? They might be going through whatever it could be. Maybe they're going through bullying. Maybe they're going through university. Maybe they've lost someone in life. Maybe they feel demotivated, or they just feel like they've been scammed, or just hurt a couple of times. Like, what would your advice be for them before they even decide to get into Exodus?
The first thing I would definitely say is, first off, don't beat yourself up, right? I feel like once you get scammed, once you like spend a bunch of money on all these things and you don't get a result, you try to beat yourself up, right? You think that it's your fault. It's not your fault, right? You weren't the one that created this scam product. So don't beat yourself up. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. Second thing I can say is you want to take a step back and really focus on what it is that you're truly trying to accomplish, right? Like, what is your vision? That was the biggest thing that my mentor asked me when I first got it, is what is your vision? And when he first said that, I didn't know. So second thing, come up with your vision. And the third thing is to find someone out there, right, that's either doing what you're already wanting to do and is already gaining the success that you're wanting to like gain, or is already on that path, and then join under them, right? Join under them as having them as a personal mentor, right? Because that's going to do a couple things for you. That's going to keep you from getting scammed if you have a personal mentor, because you know that you can call them up at any point in time, right? Yeah. But it's also going to help you with understanding that the struggles, right? It's going to help you with skipping past that learning curve. If you're learning from someone who's already been through it, right, you're going to be able to skip past the struggles that they went through and get to that success a little bit quicker. So don't beat yourself up. You can do this, right? If I can do it, you can do it. You just got to be able to take a step back and really find someone that's really trying to gain you the success that you're trying to go after. So,
wow. You heard it right, guys, from Daysha Hanks. She's amazing. I urge you to follow the Virtual Vipers group and the Exodus group and the MMU Elites group you're going to be seeing in the next page after this. I am excited for you to join us, as well as reach out to us, and hopefully just join us as a whole family and just get to know one another and just help you reach your breakthrough. Thank you so much, Daysha, for giving us your time. I can't wait to see you in a couple of months or so forth. And I don't know, you're just an amazing sister. Thank you so much. I wish you lots and lots of success, because I feel like you deserve it. Yeah.
I appreciate you. I just love your energy. And one thing I got to say to everyone on this video, join Ria, right? Like, she's such an amazing person. She truly cares about you and your success, and you wouldn't be hurting yourself, right? So I love you guys. Thank you again, Ria, for having me on. Have a great day.
All right. Peace out, guys.